Welcome everybody to this Nadex webinar. Apologies that it took us a second here. We were having a minor technical issue, but this is a Nadex webinar on the super powerful Nadex platform. And we've got my colleague, Adam McCaden, who's going to be taking us through. He is our platform specialist. So Adam, I think we've got you now. I'm going to make you the presenter if you give me a second here.
Sounds good, Todd. Thanks for the glowing introduction.
All right, I just made you the presenter.
All right, thanks.
And you should be able to take over controls and share your screen. We got your webcam working, so that's always a good start.
Face here. All right.
All right, with that, I'm going to let Adam McCaden run with it, trading on the Nadex platform. Thanks, Adam. It's all you.
No problem. Thanks again, Todd, for the great introduction. Yeah, my name is Adam, and this is trading on the Nadex platform here. Hello to everyone here this morning and anyone that's new. I know we've had quite a few new people here joining the exchange for the last few months. It's the last time we did one of these. So, yeah, welcome, and we're going to go over the Nadex platform. I'll go to the next page here so we can really kick it off, get started. This is our beautiful disclaimer here. I will give you all a second to read through this. Very basically, though, this says, first of all, trading on Nadex, just like trading anywhere, requires risk. If anyone ever tells you that you can have a risk-free trade, those really don't exist in the real world. So trading at Nadex obviously involves risk, as with everywhere else. Also, I will be going over a few just trades on the demo account today, just to really show different parts of the platform. Those trades, first of all, I'm just going to be randomly choosing them, so you should never copy them anyway, but those trades aren't a recommendation of what to trade. I'm not, not a licensed financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just somebody who loves building platforms and products for all of you to trade on. So definitely nothing I'm saying here is advice today. I will give you guys a second to read through the rest of this. Also, for anyone that's new here to these webinars, I do always on my awesome second screen over in the corner here have the chat up and the questions. So if you do have any questions, feel free to ask them. If for any reasons we do have any technical difficulties, go on. If you can't hear me or see my screen or anything like that during the course of the webinar, let me know over here and I will try to fix it, because I am still at home. A lot of us are still working remotely, even as everything opens back up. And so we do still have some of these fun technical difficulties like we had this morning, which was why we started just a couple minutes late, and apologies on that. All right, I'll go on to the next screen here. It's a nice little about me page, looking a lot more, clean shaven and shorter hair back before the pandemic started. But yeah, I've been working at Nadex for around 4 years here now. That should really say the last 3 years about I've been working on this, our new products, our new platform, and all of our new products that you see here. So any of the products that have dropped over the last couple of years, those were primarily designed by me and the rest of the product team here. And this new platform that we're going to go through today, obviously, have been running with that for the last 3 years or so. So you could say this platform is kind of my baby. I love doing these webinars because I was just one of a large team that worked on this, and so love showing it off to everyone. Just a little bit of background on my trading experience. I started trading probably actually more like 12 years ago at this point, right when I turned 18. I could actually get a trading account, and generally I trade more equities and equity options. Can't trade any binary options because I work on the exchange, unfortunately. All right, now we'll get off that screen with a beautiful picture of my face and back onto just this little box on your screen where you can also see a beautiful image of my face talking. This is just the agenda we're going to go through real quick today. We're going to go over the layout, placing some orders, managing positions. We're going to go settings, and as always with these, we usually do the charts last on these webinars, just because I know that a lot of people like to use other charting tools that aren't our charts. I think the new Nadex charts are pretty good, but I completely understand. So that's why we go over those last, just if anyone ever wants to leave early or needs to leave early and doesn't use the Nadex charts, you definitely can. Although I do recommend using the charts. Definitely the most accurate price shown to you due to our settlement calculation actually being displayed on the charts every second. And so without further ado, we'll get over to the fun stuff here. Let me go over here, and here we go. So I'm hoping everyone really knows how to actually get to the platforms page, but if you don't, you just go to nadex.com. You can see nadex.com. You go to login, and let's see if I'm still logged in on another account. I am. This is my personal demo account. Let me get off this one real quick because it has some very cool test stuff on it that we aren't quite ready to show yet. Always have some new fun stuff being worked on in the background. But yeah, this is login screen, and apparently I typed in my password wrong. There we go. I got my webinar demo account, the I Like Nadex account here. All right, so we land on this first page of the platform. First of all, you can see that my screen is in dark mode. It will pick up whatever your system's set to, but I personally prefer dark mode. So we have our whole layout here. The initial layout, right, you'll see on the left-hand side, this is really where everyone starts. This is where you're going to find all of your different products. So you have your binary options, call spreads, knockouts, go through this pretty quickly. And then underneath all of these, you can see you can click into the different asset classes. So, if you trade indices, you can click in here, see all the binary option indices. If you want call spreads and commodities, you can click in there, see all the call spread commodities, right? Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. So we'll start off today doing a binary option on a Forex pair, and let's do dollar yen today. Why not, right? So I'm going to go down. I'm going to click on a 2 hour just randomly. So you can see, you go down, you see the dollar yen. Next to the dollar yen, or next to every single asset class name, you're going to see actually the indicative price ticking here as well. And then underneath, of course, you see all of your expirations, your different time periods that you have, along with how much time is left till expiration. If you click on those, you're going to see your awesome price ladder here. This price ladder, I'm just going to show you all the strikes in one little neat little ladder here. And then as you scroll down, my computer is being slow. All right, sorry. Sometimes the internet lags out here a little bit. As you scroll down, you can see all of the different price ladder, different strikes, and you can see, of course, the buy and the sell sides on them. Let's choose one about the middle. That's probably going to be about at the money. So we'll go with this 110.26. So if I click right here on this, that's going to do a couple things. It's going to bring up both my chart here in the middle of the screen. It's also going to bring up the, order ticket on the right-hand side of the screen here. So why am I, sorry, it looks like my screen is lagging here a little bit. I'm not sure if I have some things open. Let me close out of some different tabs I have open here. Sorry about that, everyone. I don't know why. Getting a little lag there. Sorry about that. Okay, so should be a little bit better here. Yeah, every once in a while, my computer just doesn't want to actually behave on me. Actually, it's probably my home internet. Okay, so we have, yeah, this seems a little bit better. So we have our charts in the middle of the screen. We also have on the right-hand side of the screen our order ticket. You can see the order ticket. We'll just start from the very top of the order ticket first. You have the indicative price. So this indicative price, it's going to be a good indicator of where the current market is. Really what that price you're seeing is, it is the current market price. However, it is also going through the settlement calculation that goes through, every second on the back end. That settlement calculation that's run at the very end of the contract as well, that actually determines that final price. And without getting too deep into it, very basically what that calculation is, it sort of takes the last however many trade prints or ticks or whatever you want to call it. So let's say if it's a Forex market, it would take, if there's last minute, take the last or the last 10 seconds, right? Take the last 10 seconds of 30 or so ticks. It's going to take off that top 30%, bottom 30%, average that middle part. Really all that's doing is giving you the best kind of average price and making sure that no one's doing any shady things, kind of manipulating anything. That's probably going a little bit too in depth, but if you ever want to know a little bit more about our settlement price, you can always go look that up. We do have some articles on our site about how exactly we calculate that settlement value. Then you also see how long you have until expiration here. So it expires in 1 hour and 45 minutes. What is going on with my, apologies on that, but let me try to close out a couple of things here. The computer's just doesn't want to behave this morning. Okay. So you have your time till expiration here. You have 1 hour and 45 minutes left till expiration on this 2-hour contract because it does expire here at 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Central time where I am. That is always one thing to note as well, is that this expiration time that you see on every single contract, that's always going to be in Eastern time. If you are in any other time than Eastern time, you can always look up the exchange time as well. That's always going to be in Eastern too. So you basically, you have this pretty simple question asked you on the order ticket: will dollar yen finish higher than 110.26 at 2 p.m.? If you think yes, you can of course buy that contract for a price of right now 56.25. If you think no, you can sell the contract for a price of right now 52.51. If you think it will finish lower or equal to that 110.26 price point. That is one other little tidbit that's maybe not as platform specific, but remember that when you do a buy side contract, it is strictly greater than the strike price, while the sell side contract is therefore less than or equal to the strike price, right? If you have a settlement that hits, if, for example, at 2 p.m. this settled exactly at 110.26, that is a payout for the sell side. It's not a push or everyone gets their money back or anything like that. Because we do get those questions sometimes. Below that, you can see the market depth here. So if I click this market depth, you can see all of the available prices out there in the market. You can see all the players out there in the market. If you see these big kind of 100 lots or 30 lots, or on the live platform, you'll see more of these. But generally, these larger lots generally are going to be market makers that are making these prices, providing this liquidity out there. But you can also, put your own order on there and it will show up in the order book, and we'll go over that in a second as well. Just for right now, I'm going to hide this market depth so we can see the whole order ticket. Next, we have the order type, right? So I have mine set to limit GTC by default on this account. I will show you how to, change that default a little bit later. So we have the limit GTC here. We can also set it to market. So if I click on if I have the market, I have the limit GTC. If I click on the market price here, we'll see it goes to market order. Market order, for anyone that's a little bit newer, market order is just going to get you into that contract at the best available market price, so a little bit faster. While limit order, you can actually choose your price. So you also see when I choose market, I only have one thing to choose here, and that's my size. While when I go back to limit, I have my size and the price point I want to pick. So if I wanted to get in at $10, right? We can actually place this limit order, and I'll show you it pop up on the order book itself. Let's first go for a market order just so I can show you our positions window down here. So I'm going to do 5 at 54, saying I think it's going to expire over that 54 point. I can place my order, and there we go. Went right in, and now I can see my position down here. I can also see a little bit of confirmation. I'm not sure if you all caught that pops up right when you actually place that order. It tells you the time, it tells you the price that you paid to get into that contract. If I want to do a limit order, and I'll show you very quickly, so how to actually, put in an order that's not at the available market price. So let's say this contract right now is trading at $52. Let's say I don't want to trade this contract at $52, right? But if it ever went down to, let's say $10, if the market tanked, I might think that's a good price. So I can, instead of waiting around for that to happen, I can put in a price of 10, and I still have my size of 5 here. We'll go down to 1 just to show you the max loss and max profit as well, because I didn't actually go over that. You can see my max loss right now is at $10 and my max profit's at 90. I'm paying 10, so that's going to be my max loss. You can never lose more than what you pay to get into the contract, and my max profit's going to be 90, which is for all binary options going to be 100 minus the price you paid to get in, because the max return you could get is $100. So max profit's 90, right? I'll place my order, and you'll see that actually went into my orders panel and not my positions. You'll also see though, if I go to show market depth, hey, there's my $10 order. So that's me sitting out there in the market. And just so you all know, so if you do that, you can actually go into the market depth. You can see your orders sitting out there in the market. So you can't see everyone that's placing limit orders. You're always going to be able to see all the orders sitting on the order book there, waiting to be hit or waiting to match with another trader. So I can go hide that market depth real quick. So we can go over our positions panel quickly here. So just going left to right, some of this is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to go fairly quickly across this. We have our type. That's going to be binary options. If it was a call spread, if it was a knockout, it would say call spread knockout. We have our contract, so $yen greater than 110.26. Again, right here. We have our indicative price. So when we were designing this, we wanted to put our indicative pretty close to the contract panel. So you can just see, okay, 110.26. It's currently trading at 110.292. That is above 26. Pretty easy way to see that there. We have our expiration, so that's going to be June 16th, 2021, today at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and that is in an hour and 40 minutes, right? So expiration, time left. We have my position. So my position is going to be the number of contracts that I currently have. You can see this is it's blue and it has a +5. That's going to mean I have a 5 contracts on the buy side of the contract. If I had a sell side position, and let's we can get into one of those. We'll go to the Swiss franc here, and quickly I'll show you a sell side position. So you can see there that when I pulled up that sell side position, it actually has a -1 there, right? So if it's red and has a minus, that's going to mean you currently have a sell side position. If it's blue, a positive, that's a buy side position. We have our average price here. So I paid on average $53.25 to get into these contracts. That's just going to be, the average price you paid for each contract. Sometimes that might not look so neat. It might not be 53.25. You might get like 53.9292 repeating or something, just because you've gotten into them at different prices and it averages that all out. This is going to be the current price. So the current price here is just the price that you can sell out of this contract for right now. And this is, I'll go into a little bit more depth on this point, just because it is something that, I actually started here at Nadex on the phones talking to you. If any of you actually call anyone right now or get an outbound call from any of our awesome customer service or account managers, I actually started here with that. And this is one of the questions that I got a lot was, why is this current showing the sell side, right? Why I'm on the buy side, why is it showing me the current market price on the buy side? That's because the current price is always going to show the opposite of the position side that you were in right now, right? So I'm in a buy side position, it's going to show the sell side, and the reasoning for that is this is the price I could get if I close out of this contract right now, right? So if I get into a contract on the buy side and I want to close out early, I have to close out on the sell side of the contract, right? I buy to get in, I sell to get out. So this is therefore telling me, okay, if I want to exit this contract right now, this is the price I can get on the open market for the contract that I currently own, right? So I can currently get $55, $55.25. That's how much they'll pay me for it right now. I paid $53.25 to get in, and that was a profit. The market's going back against me. It went my direction and went back against me again. But that's where this profit and loss is calculated from as well. And this is, again, a question I get quite often, and we will spend a little bit more time on this because the profit and loss, right? The profit and loss, how it's calculated, and you can see it a little bit easier. Let me get into just one buy side contract on something here because I always feel that that's probably the easiest way to show this. Okay, so we're going to look at this very bottom one right now, right? $yen greater than 110.34. You can see I got in at 21.75, and the current price right now is 16. Because it's just this one contract size, all my profit and loss is going to be is the current price minus the price I paid to get in. That's why, so right now that's -$4, right? On the sell side, it would be the opposite. It would be the price you, it's the average price you paid to get in minus the current price, as you can see here, right? Because 86 minus 93.75 is going to give you that negative price. And you can also see, okay, so it's not the exact same on this one because I have 5 contracts. So it's always going to be basically the average price for the buy side, the current price minus the average price you paid to get in times the position size, right? So that's where you kind of get these bigger numbers because for every contract, right? If I only have 1 contract, if it moves up $1, I'm making $1. If I have 5 contracts, if it moves up $1 over here, that's $5 for me, obviously. Um, so the other thing that we get that I get a lot of questions about, right? This profit and loss. The profit and loss that you're seeing here is only the profit and loss if you were to exit this contract right now. And that is something that I get asked a lot of questions about. That isn't the most clear thing in the world, probably, and we always do try to make it a little bit more clear. And so let me actually let me show you an example of one here. I'll close out of this real quick. So we'll go over that more in a second. So don't worry. Let me get into a different position here just so I can show you like fully what's going on with this. So let's say I was into this contract at $94, right? This is a pound dollar contract. So looking at this pound dollar contract, we can see I got in right around $90. And right now it says I'm taking a loss, right? Because if I were to sell this contract back into the market, I would only get about $86 for my contract. I paid about $94. That's about a $4 loss, right? Everybody, you know, we're making about a $4 loss on this contract. However, if I were to hold this to expiration, if this were to expire in 1 minute, right? I would actually get a profit on this contract, right? Because this profit and loss is not the profit and loss at it's not the profit and loss at expiration. Only if I exit this contract right now at the current available market price. If I were to actually hold this till expiration, you can see here kind of on the chart. I will I'll pull it up here a little bit. So we can see, right? The current market price is way above this this line in the sand, right? So at expiration, all I need is for this to just be above the current market price. So this is obviously, you know, if this were to expire right now, it's way greater than this. However, if I were to sell out of this contract right now, I get a loss, right? That's because, again, it's only if you sell out of the contract now. That's what the profit and loss says. And it is very, it happens a lot that if I were to hold this expiration, I could be in the money. I could be getting a payout. However, because of where I got into the contract, the market move, I can still exit at a loss right now. I believe that makes sense because that is something that we get fairly often of, I had said I was going to make a profit and I held it to expiration and I actually got a $0 payout. Well, that's because at expiration, all that matters is this price relative to the strike price, right? If I have the buy side and this is up here, then, I get a payout. If I'm on the sell side and this is up here, I don't get a payout. Same thing on the other side. All that matters exiting early is the price I paid to get in versus the current price, right? So right now I could sell it for about $13 loss, but I would still, if this expired right now, make a profit. I hope that's everyone's understanding that. And the reason that's happening, right, is because since I actually got into this contract, you can see it's actually been moving down on me. So I probably got in when the price was like here. The market's been moving down, but it's still above, right? So my contract is less valuable than when I got in because it's been moving down, but it's still actually above that strike price. I know I spent a little bit of time on that, but that is just something that we get quite a lot of questions about. So I wanted to make sure that's pretty clear there. So moving on here, this last little button, this is something new that we added, and I always love going over the new things that we've been adding here. So the last button on the right-hand side is going to be this close button. So you've always been able to get out of your contract by just clicking in the middle of the contract and placing an order on the opposite side. What we did, though, we just recently implemented this a couple weeks ago, and what this will do is when you actually click close, it gives you a sort of new reskinned order ticket that helps you get out a little bit faster of the contract, right? And it's going to give you, it gives you basically the same information you have down here, but in a way that hopefully is just a little bit more clear about what's going on, right? So you can see very clearly it's the average price and how relative it is to the current market price, right? So I paid 90 to get in, the current market price, I can only get $80 for it back. That's going to be a $10 loss on my contract. If I do this on a contract I have more of, you can also switch the size here, right? So let's say I have 5 right now, but I only want to get out of 1 or 2. Let's say I want to get out of 2. I can exit these 2 early, and you can see as I'm clicking up and down, it does recalculate the profit for each of these contracts. So you can see right now I'm about 165 down, but for one of the contracts, I'm only about 33 down. So right, 33 times 5 is going to give you right around that 165, 170 range. And as we can see, I can move up. So it's another kind of easy way if you just want to hit the close button and actually close out. You can see your loss per contract a little bit easier if you go to the 1. So I can click. Let's get out of all 5 here. Let's say I'm done with this position. I think I made a bad decision. We'll get out of all 5. We'll hit close position, and bing bang boom, we are out of that contract. So hopefully this does make it a little bit easier to exit some of these contracts. Just because we know in the past maybe that wasn't the most clear thing on the platform, how to actually exit that contract there. Going over to our order tab, this is the order I put in early. It's going to be very, very similar to your positions tab. The only really thing that's different, and I'll go over this order ticket that I just brought up here. The only really thing that's different here, because you see it's still the indicative, still the expiration. You have the size, and then you have the number of filled. Basically, so I have one kind of sitting out there on the market in the order book waiting to be filled, and that's the filled number is how many have actually hit my price and gone over to a full position, right? Gone out of my orders, gone over to a full position. My price is 10. That's the price I want to get filled out, and currently this is going for about $20. If any of you remember when I actually got into this contract, it was around 50. So I was currently down a bit, but maybe it'll fill all of this order as well. Real quick, so you may have noticed when I actually clicked on this, I brought up a different order ticket. So this is the usual order ticket, and when I go to my order tab, if I click directly on the order in the order tab window, it brings up this new ticket. This new ticket. Thanks. Sorry, we got a comment here. Yes, nice close button. This new ticket that it brings up, if you click directly on this is going to give you the ability to delete your order or amend your order. And we actually are currently testing a similar button to like the close button that we have on our positions panel to possibly put in to this order tab here. So we have the delete order and the amend order. So if I just want to delete this order, I can just click this button right here. The amend order, you'll see it's grayed out right now. If I start changing any of these, like the price or the size, I can actually just amend my order and I can actually change the price I want to get into. So let's say, now I want to go up to, I don't like the $10 price point. I want to go up to $15. I can amend that order, and it's going to put me in at 15 here. Remember, you can only do this with your working orders because this contract hasn't actually filled yet. You're not actually in a position yet. If you are actually in a position, the only way you can actually get out is by selling that back into the market. But with an order, you can actually delete that order because it hasn't actually gone through yet. So I can also hit this delete order. I do just want to make sure everyone realizes though I'm clicking directly on this order ticket in the order tab, and that's what's bringing it up. So I can hit delete order, and there we go. Went away. I don't have my working order out there in the market anymore. We have a question here. When we close a contract, does it always get closed immediately, or is there ever a waiting period after a close? That's a very good question. So without going too in-depth into the technical kind of how the exchange works, very basically, when you hit this place order or when you hit this close, it is going to close you at a market order, right? So it's going to close you with that market order. There's a couple things to remember with the market orders on Nadex. They are market orders with protection. So that protection level is still going to be taken into account when you hit this close order button. So most of the time, it is going to get you out basically right away or within a couple milliseconds of when you hit that close order. Because what basically happens when you hit this, if you think about it, here's the front end, here's down in the back end where everything's working. You hit this close button, it goes hits the front end, goes all the way to the back end, processes everything, matches it, goes all the way back to the front end. That takes maybe like a hundredth of a second. But sometimes in that hundredth of a second, the price does change, you know, a quarter or a little bit. Or with a 5-minute binary, it can actually change quite a bit. And that's where that market order with protection comes in. So the answer to this question is 99.9% of the time, it's going to get you out right away at the market price. There is that very rare instance where if you have that market order with protection set really low, so let's say you have that protection level set to like $1, what can happen is in the period of it kind of going from the front end, going to the back, going back to the front, even though that's like a hundredth of a second, let's say you have that market order with protection level set at like $1. Well, if the price changes over $1 against you, what will happen is it cancels the order because it goes outside that protection level. And we'll talk about protection levels a little bit more when we get to the settings panel. It's a little bit outside the scope of this entire webinar right here, but it is something that we do have more reading material on our site as well. But you can always just place it again, right? If it doesn't go through with that protection level. So yeah, the very short answer is yes. It's always going to get you out immediately. There's not going to be a waiting period. The slight caveat, because nothing's ever 100% in this world, right? The slight caveat is if it hits that that order, or if it goes over that protection level, is the only time that it wouldn't actually go through. But you can see I hit the close position here. And as long as my computer isn't acting up, because my computer is acting up today, but you can see it did get out instantly. All right, so that's the position window. We can also go over the 24-hour history. I won't spend a ton of time on this. This is just a 24-hour order history. I'll show you how to access kind of a better, more fleshed out history in a second, because we do have that on the platform as well. But the order history here, it's really gonna, it has the date, it has the time you got in, the contract name, the expiration, -1, +1. That's just going to be the sell or the buy side, the price you paid to get in, then the order sent and the order filled. This is what I'm also talking about with it might, the price could change a little bit. You can see from the time I actually pressed that to the time it actually filled it, it moved $1. That's how market orders work generally on really any exchange out there. But you can see here, because it's the order history, you can see my order sent, and then you can see it being filled, like within a second. But within a second, it did change about $1. Let's go on to, so we went over the order position. Sorry, we went over the kind of the bottom panel. We went over the right-hand order panel, and we went over our awesome price finder window here as well. Now I want to go over this like top bar. So on the very top left side, you'll see, well, starting on the top right, we have this is a demo account, and then if we go over to the top left, we'll see that we do have this open live account button. If you don't have a live account, you can click on this. It'll take you over to our application. If you are ready to open up a live account. If you're not, or if your demo account has expired, because remember our demo accounts now do expire after 30 days. But if you do open up a live account and just fund it, don't have to trade, but just fund, you keep your demo account open indefinitely. After that period, you just have to call in or message in, and they'll make that little notation to keep your demo account open. But if you already have a live account, obviously you don't need to click that. You also have your platform status button here. So this is like 99% of the time going to be operational. If you do click on this though, you can go to our status page, where if anything is happening, we do put it up on the status page. Again, almost always we have a very good, basically called SLAs for uptime, but we have a very good track record for keeping the exchange up. The interesting part of this too, so you can see live and demo, you can see, is our, can you go make a new account? Can you get your money out? Is our mobile app working? Is our website working? All pretty standard stuff. The one interesting thing here, we added this last March. This is going to be where you want to go to find, and you can go read this, but if we do have, if any of our contracts are closed for trading because our underlying markets are closed, you can go see this here. This is a very rare occurrence. And by very rare, I mean it didn't happen for 15 years maybe before last March. And then last March, if any of you were around trading, you may remember how volatile it got when the beginning of the pandemic and the markets were just going wild and they were tanking and then going back up. And so what will happen if it goes? I think on the futures markets, there's a 7% drop within a day. It'll hit what's called a circuit breaker, and it'll halt trading on that underlying market for about 15 minutes. Again, this is a very rare occurrence that you almost never see. It just last year it happened within a period of a couple of months many times. If you ever do want to, if you ever are seeing, why is the S&P closed at like 11:40 on a Tuesday? What the hell's going on? You can go look over here, and probably it's because we hit a trading halt and it hit a circuit breaker in the underlying market. Again, that's kind of outside the scope of this, but I just want to show all of you that, and it probably won't happen because it is an extremely, extremely rare occurrence. Kind of a black swan event that we went through last March. One of the more wild periods I've ever been in my 12 or so years of trading these markets. Going across the top here, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want to make sure we have time to get through everything. We have our exchange time. Again, that's always going to be in Eastern. Then you have your available balance. Your available balance up here, that's just going to be how much you have currently available to trade. You have your total P&L, which is going to match up with this P&L down here. You also, if you hit this, you get a drop down, and you can also put like your reserved. You can put up to 3 little buttons up here, so you can put account value, position value. If you're ever confused or want to know more about what these mean, because I know they aren't the most intuitive things in the world, you can hover over the select balances, and it's going to tell you, okay, the available balance is the funds available to deal or withdraw, all the way down. You can see the funds reserved is the reserved for working orders and your fees. Going on over here, we have our account. So if you hit this account button, you're going to bring up your account section. So this is going to give you account overview right in the middle of the screen. Now, if I were on a $500 account rather than a 10,000 demo account, this little blue thing right here may be a little bit bigger, but basically this little circle here will give you kind of a pie chart breakdown of how much of your account is available, how much of it is currently in your position value, aka the value of contracts that you currently own, and how much is in reserve, so reserved for fees, reserved for working orders that you currently have out there in the market. Obviously, then again, it has the account value and the total P&L. Also, you'll see that the available to trade and the position value is going to add up to your account value, right? Going down, we have our residential address and our contact details. Pretty self-explanatory here, but if you ever want to edit it, you can hit that, and then you can hit Save Changes, or let's hit one. I hit Save Changes. You can obviously see I currently live in Tradertown, Alaska, because this is a demo account. Make sure your residential address is up to date on your live account. If you had it, demo doesn't really matter as much, but live, that stuff is good for if we ever have to send you physical mail, sending out tax documents, etc. Contact details, again, you don't want to have this random jumble. You want to have your actual phone number and email address so that we can contact you if anything's going on in your account, on the exchange, etc. But for a demo account, it doesn't really matter as much. Because I'm on a demo as well, this is right here in this panel is going to be where your funding and withdrawing is. So if you ever want to take funds out of your account, if you ever want to put more funds into your account, this is going to be where this is. So again, to show you how to get there, because obviously that is a very big part of trading. You want to be able to access your money. You go to the account at the top right, and then it's going to be, again, can't see it because it's on the demo, but on the live account, it would be right here. Underneath, we have our reporting. So this is going to be where you have your history and you have your statements. Moving on here. So really quickly, we can go over the history. Just FYI, we are working on making history a little bit better, because we do know that this might not be the greatest way to actually see your history. But so right now I can choose transaction or order. Transaction history is just going to show me like where I actually got in, where I actually got out. While order will show you every single order, so it'll show you those orders sent, order filled, order canceled. Transactions, just your actual transactions you got into and you got out of, right? You can see your type, so you can either choose trading history or funding as well, because this transaction history will show your funds you put into the exchange and your withdrawals. And then I can hit view history. So we can see this is all the activity I've been doing today, right? So buy, sell, we have our buy to close. So this does know if you are actually buying to get in or buying to close, selling to get in, selling to close. I can see my time, I can see my, the contracts that I was in. I can also see my profit or loss on those. Or sorry, this is not profit or loss. This is actually how much I paid to get in and how much I got out of the contract, right? So I paid $266 to get into these $5 yen contracts. I got back $71 when I got out of those dollar yen contracts. If I were to put these two numbers together, that is my profit and loss, which is right around almost 200, like 190 or something. Again, we are aware that so it's chronological. So obviously, it'd be better if like these two were together. We are working on that. Just right now, this is what we have. Probably one of the better ways to actually go through, look at your trades, and look at your P&L. And this is actually what I do. I hit this download button, and it's going to pop up. There we go. It's going to pop up an Excel sheet, and here you can actually kind of see your total P&L. And let me. So you can see your total P&L, and well, you can calculate your total P&L. So you can see if I actually scroll over this, I can see the sum here. This is actually going to be my total profit and loss on all these trades. And if you do know Excel, you can also do the sum, right? Sum command. And I can see I've lost $228 total on all the trades I did this morning. Again, we are aware that this is not the best way to go through this. This is just the best way that we currently have to go through these, to basically see the P&L, to see your full history statements. But we are working on a better view of this for all of you. So let me, I'm not going to save that right now. And then going on to statements. So this is basically just going to be your transaction history, but put into a statement form. I don't use this that much, but I know some people out there do like this. So my statement could not be loaded. My computer is really being slow this morning. So again, I do apologize for that because it's messing with kind of loading everything up. But the statement really is just going to be the last 30 days transaction history put into a statement form. So if you do ever like want to print those out every 30 days or something like that, you definitely can. I never really use that personally trading on my demo account, but some of you might. Going on down, we have the contact us. So if you want to email us, you can definitely email us, customerservice@nadex.com. I know all the people on the team that respond to those emails. They're all very, very knowledgeable. So you are in good hands if you email them there. You can also write us good old snail mail. Put it in the mail. It'll come to us at our location here. This is our office in downtown Chicago. I would highly recommend not to do that unless you I don't know why you'd want to do that, but it's going to take a while, and especially with how the post has been. And I can tell you the post in Chicago hasn't really gotten back up to full capacity yet since Corona. So it is fairly slow. And even in the best of times, just send us an email. I mean, that's going to be, unless you really need to send us something physical, 99% of the time, just send us an email or live chat us. Feedback. I love this box because it lets you tell us what we are doing right and what we are doing wrong. If you really hate something on the new platform, or you really love something on the new platform, or you want a specific feature, let us know. I do read everything that comes through this feedback box every single day. I have a report that gets generated. That gets sent out to some of our developers that work on the platform, some of our team leads that work on the platform. So we do look at this feedback every single day. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every single thing that goes in here is going to immediately be put on the platform. We do have to prioritize everything. We do have to actually work on it. It does take time to get everything in, but we do read this feedback. And a lot of the stuff that we have added in here has been because of feedback that has come into the feedback box. Stuff like the tear off tickets, which I'm just realizing I forgot to show, so I will go back and show that in 1 second. Also refer a friend. So we do have a refer a friend program going on. If you do have your live account open, this is going to actually give you a refer a friend link that you can give to people. definitely go check out the actual terms and conditions of that before you participate in it. But very, very basically, if you refer a friend, they come in, they start trading, you can get $100 for your live account referral. That is, if you have a live account, they start trading on a live account, you can get a little bit of money that way. You know, you can go trade a little bit more on the exchange. Definitely hit this learn more button if you want to know more about that. I'm going to quickly go through this left-hand panel here because I have been talking quite a lot, going through quite as quickly as I should be going through to get this all into you under an hour. I don't want to keep you guys over here. So on our left-hand panel here, we do have our updates. You can see my little floating bubble here. I have 2 updates I haven't quite read yet. So anytime we do have an update like our product schedule, if we have a new feature like the closing positions, we put that here. We have a nice blog post for it. Every time we have a product schedule, so you can see there's a holiday in China, so our China contracts won't be open on Monday. And we have our rollover schedule, so every time we roll over futures contracts to the next month for our underlying contracts, that's going to be over here as well. Going on, we have, so if you click this button here and you go with your, nice phone and you hover over that, it will actually bring it up on your phone. And a lot of you, especially if you're new, may have noticed, you can hover over and it says, hey, go to Nadex.com in Safari. A lot of you may have noticed that we don't actually have apps in the App Store. This is going to be the best way to actually get our app. You can download it directly off of, well, you don't actually even have to download it. You just add it to your home screen, and it actually works a little bit better. You never have to download updates. They automatically go in, and that's going to be the best way to actually get your app, is clicking that button there. Contact us. This is going to bring up this email line. It'll also bring up a live chat, or usually it does bring up a little live chat. I think that, yeah, there it is, chat with an expert. You can load this up, and again, this is probably going to be the fastest way to talk to us if you have any urgent issues, that or the email box. I know they do respond to this live chat a little bit quicker. Going on down, we have the feedback button again. We want your feedback so much we put it in here twice. So that should really tell you how much we want your feedback, because that is how we, prioritize new features. Now we have the settings at the very bottom left hand. If I click on the settings here, wait for it to come up. So we have a few different settings options that you can configure here. First of all, we have this tolerance. Again, this is the tolerance range I was talking about before. Very basically what the tolerance range does, without going too in depth into it, is let's say I'm trying to get into a buy side contract at 40, and I have a tolerance range at 10, right? So that's going to say because our 5-minute binary can move back and forth so fast, that's why we have this tolerance range built in, to make sure that, like, if I try to get in at 40 with a market order, and let's say I was on any other exchange, but if this changes to 10 by the time the order actually gets filled, right? That like 100th of a second before the order gets filled. Well, you'll actually get filled at 10 on most other exchanges. We realize because our markets move so fast that might not be a good experience. So basically what will happen is, if that goes over $10 worse than your price, so let's say I wanted to get in at 40 and this drops to 31, well, that's within that $10 range. It will fill you at 31, but if like that half second between when it goes back. If it drops to 25 in that like millisecond, it will not fill you. It'll cancel the order and allow you to place it in again. So basically it allows you, and I can move this up, I can move it down to 1. I think the max is going to be 25 and the minimum is going to be 1. You can change that for binaries, or you can change that for knockouts and spreads. You can put different values for that. So if you really want to get filled on every single contract, you can put 25. Just remember, there is a risk associated with doing that. You could get filled at up to $25 worse than the price you actually put in. Usually markets aren't moving that fast, just something you always have to watch out for. Default order type, so I can change my default order type from limit to market and back again. And this will just, if I click this, it'll bring up a limit order. If I click this again now, market order, if I click it again, it'll bring up a limit. Default contract size, I always keep this set to 1. However, you can set it to 10, you can set it to 20. That's just going to mean, like, when you actually click a contract to bring up a new one, it'll set you to that value. I would highly recommend just keeping it to one. You know, we've had people in the past say, I didn't mean to put in 10 contracts. Well, there's not really much we can do about that if you're already in those contracts. So, you know, if you really do want to get into multiple contracts, I recommend just setting your default to one and manually putting in however many contracts that you want. We also have session end activity. So this is how long it's going to log you out if you don't do anything. I have mine set to 12 hours because I leave mine only running on my home computer here. You know, if you get on maybe at a public computer or something like that, you might want to set it to like an hour just in case you forget to log out. And it'll automatically log out after that amount of time. And then we have our theme here. So system is just going to match like it reads what kind of, if you have like dark mode on other things like on your system, it'll read that and match it to the system. And then you have light mode and you have dark mode. So pretty self-explanatory there. I will go over the charts pretty quickly here. I know I'm kind of only have about 6 minutes left before noon here. So I will go fairly quickly here. We also do have this little how-to button. This is going to be, if I click on this, it'll actually bring me through a tutorial of how to start trading. So just know that that is up here, and you can, you know, go through a whole little tutorial from here. You have some articles as well. If you click here, you can see, you know, hey, this is an article actually I wrote on trading on the Nadex Go app. So we have these nice little how-to thing here, just a little bit of help for everyone out there if you do want to sort of self-serve that. Quickly going into the tear-off tickets, because I realized I forgot to do this. So we have our tear-offs here. So you can, so I hit this button up here. I tore the chart off. Now I can see my tear-offs. I can, you know, I can do anything I want on this actual ticket, and it will go in. I can also bring my chart up here too, and I can also just tear off charts. I can just tear off tickets. I can just tear off the price ladder as well. And sorry, I know I'm going through this kind of fast, but I do want to make sure we get through all the charting. The one thing I actually love about tear off tickets, because we do get asked this, is how I can kind of customize my screen. So I have 2 screens here, but I'm going to try to show you this on just one. Let's say I want to trade the Aussie dollar, the US, the Aussie dollar yen, the US dollar yen, Aussie dollar, US dollar. I have all these that I want to trade, so I can tear off all of these. And sorry, I know I'm going through this fast, but so you can tear off multiple markets, and then I can see in the background here, I have all these. Now these will go to the background. So what I will do though, and while these are loading up, God, my computer's being very slow today. I apologize about that. I can actually go over, and if I hit like the price ladder on each one, now I can see that I did Aussie dollar twice. But you can do this for a lot of different contracts, right? So you can have all your different price ladders. This is how I like to set up my second screen, so I can see, okay, I can watch US 500, the small cap 2000, the Wall Street 30, all these contracts at the same time. And I can, you know, so let's say I want to get into one really quickly. I can go over, I can hit this, bring up the chart. I can actually get into position just from this panel. So this is actually how I like to trade on my demo account when I'm watching a bunch of different markets. So they unfortunately do go behind your front screen here. So I do know that, and that's something we've been trying to fix, but it's pretty difficult. But if you do have 2 screens, this is how I sort of recommend you set it up. You can also just do the charts. So let's say I just want to look at an Aussie dollar chart and a dollar yen chart. You know, I can have these up as well. And so I can fully kind of customize my screens by doing this. All right, we're going to go over the charting here quickly. I know we do have about 3 minutes left. We'll probably go over this hour time frame here, and I do apologize, but I do want to make sure we get time to go through all of our charting here. So for charting, let's pull up an index for charting here. We'll go over. Let's do a 2 hour. We have about an hour left on these 2 hours. I'll hide all these. You can always hide these positions as well. So see these hide buttons and these arrows. You can pull these all down if you want a bigger chart on your screen as well. So I have my US 500 chart here. Or sorry, this is actually the small cap 2000. I'm clicking through too fast because I want to make sure we get through our charts here. So we have our US small cap 2000 chart here. we have a lot of different, so first of all, you can see all the strike lines. So this is going to be all your contracts, and you can click on the strike lines directly to bring up the actual order ticket. You'll also see as I sort of pull this up, you'll see you have all the strikes here, and because this market has moved down so much, it's sort of collapsing the strikes. So this probably isn't a good one to look at because we have had a pretty big drop for the last few hours in a lot of the U.S. markets. Let's actually go to something like that maybe has been a little bit more stable over gold's been, that's some contracts there. Gold's been going wild as well. So we can look, let's look at gold here. So now we can see it's been a little bit more stable. We can see our contracts a little bit clearer here on the gold market. So I can click on this to bring it up. I can click on the buy or sell side. We'll see when I click on the buy and the sell side that it's either shaded above for the buy, shaded below for the sell. So, nice visual representation there. All of the different tools you can use, the different indicators, different, charting tools, you can either access from the top left corner of the screen up here, or you can right click on the chart itself, and it's going to bring you this list now that you can access everything from. So I'll start using, I usually use the right click method, but I'll use this just for a second to show everyone. So first of all, choosing this right here will choose your different candlestick times. So I can do an hour candlesticks. Now all my candlesticks are displaying the last hour of charting information. I can do 2 hours, right? So I can change all of these. Now you see here, as I scroll over, there's this little, it says 15 minutes and has this little like grayed out 15 right here. What this is, these are hotkeys. So if I can hit 15 minutes and I can do it like that, or I can actually type in on my computer. If I start typing, I gotta turn the number lock on. There we go. Sorry, I had to turn the number lock on. If I start typing in here, I can hit a number and it's going to bring up. So if I hit 1, you can see it's going to bring up 1 minute. I can hit 15. Going to bring up 15 minutes if it actually works. There we go. I'm going to bring up 15 minutes. So you can actually change it from this little panel here. I can do 1H. Going to bring up an hour. Just some hotkeys, and if you ever forget them, they are here in the right of these, the little grayed out. So you can use your hotkeys on your keyboard to actually get that up. I did just have someone in the chat said when I tear off a ticket, it requires me to re-enter my user credentials. It shouldn't do that unless it logs you out for session inactivity. It shouldn't do that. I've never had that happen before. Can you please, because it shouldn't be doing that, if you could, please email customer service at nadex.com that's happening, or actually put that in the feedback. And if you could actually attach a picture of that happening too, we'll investigate that because that shouldn't be happening. Unless you do need to re-log in for your session and activity, but that should actually be booting you out anyway. So yeah, that sounds like that shouldn't be happening. So definitely send that in. We will get that sorted out. And if you could add the browser that you're using. Going over here, so we have, this will show you like the last week, last day. So if you want to see the last week of prices here, you can hit that. It'll show you the last week. If I just want to see the last day of prices, it'll show you the last day. From here on out, I'm actually just going to use the right click here because this is what I usually use. So we can right click, we can go to indicators. So we can overlay our indicators on the chart here. All of these indicators, let's overlay, we can do a moving average. So I'll overlay a moving average. We can see all of our great moving average lines, our 20, 50, 100-day period, or 100 period averages on the chart there. On a lot of the indicators, I mean, I only know the few indicators that I use, right? I mean, I know a lot of people only use certain indicators. If you don't know what an indicator is, we do have this little information bubble. So let's say I don't know what Ichimoku. I always mispronounce that at first. What Ichimoku is. So I can go over and I can say, oh, okay, so it's used to gauge momentum. The momentum indicators we used to gauge future levels of support. So I can read more about it here. And it gives you kind of an in-depth explanation. Now, it's not gonna be the end-all, be-all explanation of each indicator, but it does give you a good starting point for learning what the indicators are. So I can say, oh, okay, I want to add the momentum indicator. I can overlay my Ichimoku, and I can see that all overlaid on my chart itself. Now, let's say I have my moving averages up, but I don't want to use my 20, 50, 100 period averages. You can change those averages. So see these, I have the MA right here, and I have Ichi right here. On the bottom left of your screen is going to be where it has those, where you can kind of play around with the indicator settings. So I go down to the moving average here, and let's say instead of my 20, 50, and 100-day period, let's say I want to do a 30, a 60, and 120 period rather. So I can do this, I can apply, and you can see, I don't know if you can see in the background when I did that, it actually did move those moving average numbers. So like if I go down, you can see it kind of moving in the back when I do that, right? Yeah, so you saw it just moving there. There's a little bit of lag. I can also change the colors here. You know, if I want you know, my 20-day to be yellow and I want it to be a dotted line or a smaller dotted line, I can do that as well. So you know, you have thicker lines. So you can do all of this. You can change all your settings for all your indicators. That's going to be the bottom left corner of the chart where you have these little, you know, Ichi and MA, that sort of thing. And you do have to click apply. You see that I just exited out and it didn't save my settings there. Same with Ichimoku, right? You can do your span A, cloud, Shaiku, Kaijun, all of these different little indicator settings. Moving on down here, going to the next indicator, and I know we are a little bit over here, so I do apologize. I'm going to keep going for, it's probably, we have like 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes left for doing these charts. If anyone does need to drop off, thanks so much for joining today. So we're going to keep going here. So next down, we have our drawings. So we can show our drawing toolbar. So we hit this drawing toolbar, and now you can see we have this little toolbar down here. So if any of you like to draw on your charts a lot, you can do kind of this. I can hit my arrow. So you have all these I can do channels like this, right? So you can put this drawing toolbar on, and this is going to be very good for if you draw on your chart a lot. Yeah. I'm doing a lot of pretty chart drawing right now. My chart now looks terrible. So you can also hit this X to get this chart drawing toolbar off. Again, on the drawings, you do have this little information bubble. Obviously, I think most of you know what an arrow means, but for stuff like an Elliott wave, might be a little bit newer to everyone. So you can see, okay, Elliott wave theory uses a 5-3 wave pattern that can be recognized with financial markets. So I can say, okay, now I know what an Elliott wave, or now I know what a Fibonacci extension or retracement are. I can now click on those and overlay them on my chart itself. So again, somewhat helpful. And then down here at the bottom, I can hit delete all drawings, and that's gonna really delete all my drawings. I can also undo that if I hit that little button at the bottom. So again, if I want to get all my drawings off, I can hit delete all drawings, and then I can hit undo if I want them back. Moving on down from the drawings, we have our different charting types. I'm actually going to delete all the drawings because it's a little bit messy right now, and I'm going to take off, to remove the indicators as well. See this little X like next to Ichi? You can hit this, and you can see my Ichimoku indicators are gone. Now we have our chart types. So we have candlesticks, we have the Heikin and Ashi charts. Very briefly, the Heikin and Ashi charts just kind of give you a average candlestick, so it kind of smooths those candles out. We have our line chart. This is going to be your general line. Again, my computer is running extremely slow, and I do apologize for that today. Okay, there's the line. We have our HLOC is going to be next, and again, my computer is, it's great that my computer is kind of really need to reset it here. I probably have just had it on for too long. We have our HLOC, so this is going to be a high, low, open, close chart. So it's just going to has little markers on the high, low, open, and close if you like using that charting type. And then we have our mountain, which is basically the line chart, but it's shaded underneath. So a lot of people do like this mountain view. So whatever one you like, I do like keeping it on the candlestick. So I'm going to go back just to candles right now, if it lets me. So after this, after the types, we also have our price. I would highly recommend everyone just leave this on last traded. Last traded is going to be the default. That's going to be the best price. If you do want to move it, so basically what this is showing, so right now, all the prices on here are showing the last traded price. So the last actual trade that went through in the underlying market, that's going to be the price it's showing. You can move it towards the ask and the bid, right? And now it'll show the ask price in the underlying market, the bid price. I would really recommend not changing this unless you really know why. I have had people call in before and say, hey, why is my indicative price not showing what the actual price on the chart is? What's going on? Is there a bug or a glitch? First thing I always say is go check your price. Is it set to the ask or the mid or the bid? Well, that's going to give you a different price on your chart than what the indicative says. So really just set it to the last traded. That's going to be your best bet, and keep it there unless you really know what you're doing there. Scale, linear is going to be the default, and you can see what that just did here. So on the right hand side of the screen, see how it's all these numbers here. So it's actually just the numbers of the underlying market. If I go over to scale and I hit percentage, that's actually just going to show the percentage change from the first candlestick on the chart. So if we go all the way back over here, we'll see that's at about 0%, right? So I actually like leaving it on percentage because it can really easily tell me how much percentages has moved up or down since this first candlestick. So I can see this first candlestick, this was Wednesday, June 16th at 7:30. I'm getting that from down here, right? So I can see this was 7:30 this morning. So I can see since 7:30 this morning, we've actually had about a 5% dip in the price of gold. So that's a pretty significant drop off in the price of gold today. I can really easily see that because I have this percentage set over here. So that's going to be in your scale right here. So percentage scale, linear is going to be that actual price on the right-hand side of your screen. I go over show. I'll go over this really quickly. So HLOC data, you can turn this off. So see when I'm moving my cursor around the screen, this box that's following me that has the last traded, high, lowest, open, close, change. If I don't want that following me, I can turn off my HLOC data. That's no longer on. I like having that on, but if you don't like that, you can turn it off. The next one down, so if you have drawings on your chart, so I can actually hide your drawings. If you ever are drawing anything and you don't see it showing up, go see if you've hidden your drawings here. Same with indicators. I can actually hide my indicators and turn them all back on just using this. My open positions, let's get into a position here really quick. So this, and let's get into a working order as well, so I can show you this. So I have my open positions, I have my working orders. And we can see here, so if I turn that off, or it hides the open position, I can turn it back on. Same thing with the working orders. With the strikes, I can actually turn off the strikes. So if you only like the strike that you're on, that you currently have selected, you can turn off the rest of the strikes. Because I know some people don't like seeing all the strikes there. It can be messy on the chart. So you can turn that on or off. That's something actually pretty new that we added. So I quite like that. I do like turning off the strikes on the chart. The timeline, so down here at the bottom, this is the timeline, so you can turn that off or on as well. The price change, so over here on the bottom left-hand corner, you can see like the high-low of today and the high-low of basically where it's shown on the chart until right now. You can turn those off and on. And then the price line is going to be, so it's that, see that thin line? Let me turn the strikes off so you can see it. Sorry about this, everyone. My computer again is running slow. Okay, so see this this price line here that's at the strike, so I can turn this on or off as well. This is this price line that goes across your screen. Now, again, remember how we talked about those hotkeys? Oops. Well, I just take it off. So we talked about those hotkeys earlier. I can hit P for my positions, O for my open working orders, And you can see here, it's going to show you all the hotkeys. So P, O, S, and T. So if I'm ever on here and I want to quickly hide the strikes, I can hit the S button. Going to show hide the strikes. I can hit it to get it back. So P, O, S, and T are going to be your hotkeys, and you can see those all in the show panel. Layouts, so you can save your layouts. So if I have a bunch of, if I like my Keltner channels, my directional movement, and I have certain drawings I like, I can save this layout, and now I can say Adam's cool layout. I can call it that. And now if I ever go in, I can actually just apply this by applying Adam's cool layout. You can see I name all mine super awesome. Adam's awesome. I really like that, but I can let's go back and let's see what I had was super awesome. I'll apply that, and so you can save. So you can see I have some really wacky candlestick. I think I made this on a webinar one time, but I had the different candlestick colors and different indicators, right? So I can go back. I can apply my what was it? Adam's cool layout, and we can see. This is back to our Keltner and our directional movement and our normal colors. So if you really have a certain layout that you like using, you can save it there and just apply it across the board to every single, every single indicator pattern. You can apply your indicator patterns to every single chart. You can also delete them. So I can delete the default template, right? We can customize appearance. So if I have my candlesticks here and I want it to be yellow and green, it's already green, and purple, and I want the following bodies to be blue and the lines to be yellow. Yeah, it doesn't look great, but you can change that all here. You can change it for each one of these as well. You can change how thick the lines are for the unchanged, how thick they are here. So you can also show the grid. So see that grid in the background as I toggle that on and off. And you can also show the watermark. So I have the watermark here. It tells me that it's the gold contract, and I can also turn that off or reset that to default. And then at the very bottom here, I can export the chart. And this is just going to bring up an actual picture, an actual image. My downloads have been messing up, but what this will do, and I can actually go, it'll bring up a little download thing at the bottom left here. I think my Chrome needs to be reinstalled. I'm sorry about that, but usually it brings up a little picture at the bottom left. I think I can actually do it through here. Downloads. Yeah, so usually this will just come right up, but it'll bring up an image. And again, I apologize that, so it'll bring up an image like this. Okay. It'll bring up an image that you can actually use, and it has all your setups on it. So if you really like a certain setup, if you're seeing something that, maybe it doesn't make sense and you want to send that into our customer service, or you just want to save certain market patterns that you see, you can export the chart images, and it gives you a nice PNG file there as well. All right, that's really almost all we have. There is one more thing, so hold on, don't go anywhere. There's one thing that I know one of our users that comes on here a lot asks me about, and that's where are the quick charts? Well, we added the quick charts. So this is very end. I'll show you these awesome quick charts. So what the quick charts are, let me go to let me get some of this stuff off here, and I'll go to real quickly. I don't know, go to US 500 here. So you'll see, so all of you may notice that the actual charting on the platform itself is going to be based on the underlying market price. But if I go to my quick charts, and let's go over to, so we can see the linear here. So we can see if I am on the default chart, this is going to be the price of the underlying market. So like 4,200 here for the S&P 500. If I go over to the quick charts, we can see, oh, this is going to be like 20, 30, and all the strike lines are gone. This is because the quick chart is showing, it's charting the price of the actual binary option, right? So we can see if we actually go, and this is the greater than 42261. We can see it's 19. So this is the last traded price. We can see it's 1950 on 1675. So it's giving me the midpoint of these two prices here. So we can actually see the charting of the actual binary option. And here I will actually show you. So we can go to, let's say we go to the ask. We can actually see, okay, so it moves 1-to-1, right, as this is moving up. So this is the actual charting of the binary option itself. So you can actually see where the price of the actual option that's trading and not just the underlying. So this is actually really useful. It's something that we used to have on the old platform. It took us a while to bring over, but it's I'm glad we have it now. And I can't exactly the guy that always asks for this. We do have it on here now. I used to use it a lot too. I know it was missing, so I hope you are enjoying it because I do like it on the new platform now as well. It is very useful to kind of see the history of the price changes on it because you can see, hey, I could have paid 44 for this and now it would have been worth 18. So just a little last tidbit. This is how you can see the price of the underlying market as well. So I know I went like 20 minutes over. I'm very sorry. I tried to go through the last thing. If you do have any questions, put them in the chat real quick. I'll stay on for another like couple minutes here just to answer any questions. We might have to start breaking this up into 2 webinars going forward because there is so much stuff on this new platform and we keep adding more stuff that it's just I feel like every time I do one of these, it's another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes added on to the end here. So while I wait for any questions to come in, I will put this back up on the screen. This is going to be our. Let me do this. So for the last couple of minutes while I'm waiting for any questions to come in, here's all the ways you can contact us. Here's all our socials, our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you do like what we're doing, you can always go over to Trustpilot. Definitely helps us out for you to review us there. And also it will give me brownie points with our social media person. So definitely go over and do that. I do apologize again that we got started a little bit late, that we ran over a little bit. I'm not seeing any more questions come in here, so we will wrap it up here at the end. Right before we do get off, I will say, stay tuned. We do have some more stuff in the works that's coming over quite soon. A little hint for those of you that stayed around to the very end. Very soon, you'll be able to replenish your own demo account from within the platform. Won't have to contact us. There'll be a nice button. So I know some of you have been asking for that for a while, so that should be very helpful. And we've also been doing some stuff with the position panel that I'm not quite ready to tell you fully on that yet. We're still testing some of it, but we've been working on the position panel as well. So hopefully the changes we make there are very beneficial to all of you. Doesn't look like we have any more questions, so I'll let all of you go here. Thank you so much for coming along to the webinar here today. So I really hope all of you learned something here today, and good luck in all of your trading, and all of you have a great rest of your day.